I was driving, clearly looking at the road the whole time, and I looked in my mirror. I saw my sweet baby girl standing in the sunroof of my wife's car. So I had to hop off and say hello here at the piece of equipment. So if you want, well, you guys are gonna get to anyways. Oh, biscuits. You guys get the luxury of being with me while we navigate this super duper tight corner that I wasn't prepared for. But it is a-okay. Because we know how to deal with said sharp corners. And it's kind of insane too. As I see zero, and I know I'm talking to myself. But guess what? That's okay. Because I do not do it, as you see with most of my videos, you don't really see my face in much. But I'm going to change that. I want to be more presentable, is the word I'm looking for, I think. More dressed up for the camera. More entertaining to watch. I watch people's lives and I can just listen to them talk all day. There's this guy, I'm probably not going to go there, but he comes on late at night and he's, I don't know, he's very interesting but a treat to listen to. Ramble. I feel like that's what we all do. We all join this big cloud of nothingness that, you know, distances us, in public. But it also bridges the gap in the distances between. There's a pretty sizable YouTube channel close to me, and I see the people, and it's kind of got to be a weird sensation. I see the people, and I want to go talk to them because I know everything about their life. I know them personally, and that's how they present. But I feel like if I had some guy that knows nothing about me walk up to me one day and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I might be a little freaked out. Yo, what's up? Rain? Where are you from? But yeah, I just think it's kind of a weird concept, the internet, and the ability that I have to talk to all of you people, just endlessly out there. Whoever's on, it's super cool. You'll get to learn about who I am and know everything about me. And then if I see you in public, I don't know anything about you. But I hear all these creators, these big wigs, like, don't come up to me, don't come to my house. I can respect that. That might be a little creepy, but it's hard because I mean, me as a consumer of YouTube, and I get to see all these people and get to know all these people. Like I feel like I know them deeply, and they don't even know my first name. You know, and that's what I deal with. These people are real close to me. They're just 11 miles up the road. I drive past their compound and their place all the time. And I see their trucks, I see their Jeeps, I see their rigs all over the place, and I I feel like I can't walk up to them and be like, "Yay, what's up, guys?" I feel like that might be a little strange. And maybe not. Maybe they do better at it than me. I'm from Chicago. I was born in Chicago. I'm in Utah. I was born at the Hoffman Estates Hospital in Chicago. Sparkle? Is that Patrick? You're in Utah? We're in Utah. We're in northern Utah. We serve Cache Valley, southeast Idaho. Appreciate you guys stopping by. So cool that I get to talk to you people. I'm a pretty introverted person, naturally, but I have the screen of courage in front of me. And it gives me the ability. Ogden, we're super close. I'm 45 minutes north of you. Got to go to Smith and Eddie's all the time. That's awesome. I was born in Logan. Well, why'd you leave? This is the best place in Utah. Get my sweet valley hidden away from the rest of the world. That's super cool. I'm a Logan transplant. I've only been up here for like 13 years or so. I was born in Chicago, raised in St. George, a while ago. It was very anti-snow for a long time. Couldn't deal with it. And then I learned to like the snow. But now I'm learning to not like the snow because everything I like to do is outside. And basically, unless I snowmobile, everything's shut off. And I know there's snow wheeling, but I mean, that can only be so fun, you know? I left when I was 6. I'd love to live there again. I was born. What part of Idaho? That's good. It's good to get out of that place. Come back up to Logan, Sparkle. Yeah, Spark. Is that Sparkle? Yeah. Although it is getting massive. It is getting massive. What's sad? Tell me. Tell me what's sad. So we're back. I'm gonna get through this gate that I'm royally muffed up getting through the first time because I didn't pull it wide enough. I'm towing a big tilt deck gooseneck right now. Gonna pick up a skid steer. Yeah, it is a good place to visit, especially if you come to like Bear Lake. Bear Lake's beautiful. I just don't know how people live in those super populated towns like Ogden and Salt Lake. And I just, I don't know. I'm trying to do better. Oh yeah, it is. It is sad. But I mean, I can't say that. My parents left Chicago when I was 3 months old, and then we moved to Seattle, Washington, and I lived there till I was 8. And then we moved to St. George, and I lived there for quite a while, and then moved up here. I can see the confusion in that. I mean, opportunities and jobs bring people, all over the country. It's the cool part about, living where we live, you know. In the United States, it's quite a glorious place, if you ask me. So with that, if you guys are ever up in Cache Valley, I'd probably go down to Ogden and get in a pickle and you need a recovery, I'm your guy. I can do it. The closest people to me that offer recoveries are, I think, in northern Idaho. But is everybody working today? What are we doing today? Don't mind me, we're just doing some sketchy stuff. Yeah, Bear Lake is a blessing. No, I lost my people. Hey, welcome back, or welcome. Just picking up a piece of equipment. Move some blocks for a guy that we're building a pool for. Elementary head secretary. Hey, that's a good job. Education would be like, that would be the biggest perk, is being able to play all summer long. Chores of dog walking, or chores or dog walking. I was gonna say dog walking would be a treat. My son's so allergic to dogs I can't even have it. But that's okay. I like my son better than any dog. All right, let's go get the skitty. Yeah, it's gonna be brutally hot up here today, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, we get to play on the Samurai and the GMC. Have you guys watched my shorts or any of my videos? I know they're pretty chaotic. Oh, 100%. If I could get a job that would sustain, my way of life and only have to work 9 months and then have the 3 months off with the kids, that would be a real treat. I used to work up in the oil fields and that was nice, but I mean, it's not like steady 3 months off. It's like 2 on, 1 off, which is good, but it's hard being away for 2 weeks at a time, but that's life. So now I just operate heavy equipment, build boulder walls, and I'm home every night, which is good. Yes, please do. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to, obviously stick to my mission of doing off-road recoveries like some of the bigger channels. And but I also want it to be entertaining. I don't want it to be mindless. So if you want to see how we build it, how we fab it, and all that stuff, you just got to let me know, and I can do better at that. I finally got the GoPro. I can start doing some better content. Right now I've been doing everything off of my iPhone, which I'm sure isn't the best. Oh yeah, my kids are the best. I've been very blessed to be a father, and it's probably one of my greatest things I've ever done, honestly. And this coming from a proud Eagle Scout, I'll tell you. My kids are definitely the best. And everyone's still here. I'm in the equipment now. Might be a little loud. I'll try to make it quiet. You want to see my view? That's sad, Sparkle. I don't understand that. I don't understand how people can be blessed with literally God's greatest gift of being a parent and giving us kids and just walk away from that. Like it takes a pretty weak human being to walk away from something they helped create. And isn't it? Oh my goodness. I'm sure you recognize the mighty Wellsvilles over there. Yeah. Andrella? And I'm sorry if I butchered that. Hello. What is happening? Oh, I'm just talking, trying to figure out, what kind of content that people want. Go watch my shorts. Tell me what I need to improve on. I want to keep doing what I'm doing while being entertaining and informative. And we're just kind of talking to people, about cool jobs and not having to work in the summertime so we can be with our kids. But basically, I'm here to try to get information to better do what I want to do and create, good content for everybody. What is it that you do, Andrella? I'm sorry if I'm messing that up, but it says creates. What do you create? I promise what I'm doing, I'm giving it my all, my full attention. Whee! Yeah, I gotta go move this thing like 5 blocks down the road. And if you're here, please do me a huge favor. Subscribe if you would, like, comment, do the YouTube thing. Also, watch my videos, and if they're painfully boring and super of no substance and terrible, I need to know that. Yes, I did. That's my favorite part. You drive up and you tip down. It's a beautiful thing. It's the small things in life. It's almost like when I get in my Mini and I sit in the bucket and I have my laborer spin me around. It's probably one of my favorite things. Biggest perk of the job. It's like carrying around a mobile Disneyland. So here's what we're dealing with today. The JCB tailless skid. I got forks over at the other job site. I create like items and stuff like that. Do you draw, or is it like clay? Are you a fabricator? My sister draws. She draws Pokemon and stuff. She draws everything. She does really cool stuff. She's very talented. Drawing, that's awesome. Well, once I hop off this live, I'll go check out your channel. Is it on your channel? Thanks again for being here. I mean, there's 6 of you watching, and I'm sure it's probably some of the most exhilarating content you've ever seen. Don't have an editor. Yeah, I don't know what an editor is either. That's why you get this premium top tier content here. Because one, I'm technologically challenged. YouTube just finally allowed me to do this, which I think is kind of cool. Lovely sky blue, what's up? Lives are crazy, right? I've got the gloves on. I'm sorry if I make a lot of noise. I gotta chain this down. Avery, what's up? Look. It's probably gonna make a lot of noise. And if it does, I'm sorry, and I don't blame you if you leave. Because I don't even like the sound. But I gotta do it. Hey, look at that, I got it. Alicia? Hello? Could get a guy. Now, editor, are you talking about like a video editor? Like somebody to edit the content? Say hi to Addison. Hello, Addison. So, me, being an absolute technological buffoon, I don't edit anything. I got CapCut, so I can like stitch things together, which is super neat. Just figured out how to do that. Hi, Preston. But for the most part, I mean, I think from the beginning, like until I start filming like super duper long form, like, I don't know, like 50-minute things, and I'm taking like 24 hours and condensing it into one video, then I might consider getting an editor. But I think for what I do, hi Nora! What do I do for a living? I am a heavy equipment operator, and I build like rock walls and block walls and do land grading for, you know, I used to run massive equipment, but I moved back to Cache Valley from Idaho Falls, you know, so we could be closer to my wife's parents. And yeah, so I moved to a smaller outfit. Generally, I move a. Hello, Aubrey. And yeah, so now I just run a Mini X and a Skiddy and tractors. Built some pretty fancy walls for some pretty fancy people. Like here, I'll show you. I'll show you what we're doing currently. I do all the ugly work, right? So this was a hillside that just fell down. We brought in a dozer and flattened it all out so they could have a soccer field. And then I've been building, don't die, this rock wall right here and this staircase, because this guy's got a kingdom up here. Absolutely beautiful. We dug those big old honkies out. But yeah, that's what I do. That's what supports the channel at the moment, which isn't doing very well. That's why the Samurai's built out of scrap. Hello, Amber. How many times have you done this? Alive? I think this is number 3. And I would say that I'm killing it. Like, I'm up there with the best. Oh, need to hit the gym maybe. Are those chains really loud? Because if they are, I'm very sorry. But it has to be done. Hi, Jay. Who am I saying hi to? Is this like a room full of people? Okay, what's your question? Fire away. Ask me. Me, the mystery. As a kid, what's the best piece of advice you can give me? Well, I was raised in a very privileged household, if you will. Like, lots of big house, you know, the works. And I took a lot of it for granted, honestly. And my biggest piece of advice is stay humble and give it your best 100% of the time. Keep moving, keep growing, and try to do better. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. So get uncomfortable, be brave, communicate, make eye contact, and be a man or a person of your word. If you say something, do something. You know, I mean that in a positive way. You know, so if you say you're gonna help grandma, you help grandma. If you say you're gonna pay somebody, you pay somebody. And, sorry, as the ever so brilliant Robbie Layton would say, if you never quit, you never fail. And I believe that. The only time, like, if you don't try, you know, you never know if you're gonna win, or if you never know if you're gonna succeed. Hello, Rachel. So stoked to be catching you live for the first time. I'm stoked, SH Games. But I need intel. I need to know. Hello, Rachel. And Rain249. Just be a good person. Don't be swayed by the internet. That's the biggest thing. Is everyone's presented this life of like perfection, you know, on the internet, and people get envious of it, and then they get their self-worth goes down because why can't I have that? Very few people have that. You know, 90% of us are out here busting our tail day in and day out for pennies, you know, just barely making it. But those are where the good people are. Hi, Patrick. I have to go because I have to eat and keep. Hey, you go eat, and I will. Hopefully, I'll catch you again. I appreciate you stopping by. Yes, Sparkle, you're correct. Don't be afraid to work. Hard work makes you the best. Hard work makes you humble. Hard work makes you strong. Hard work keeps you physically well. Hard work gives you a piece of self-worth. Hard work is good. My shovel operator, the guy beneath me, is my nephew, you know, and he's 20, you know, and I'm not to talk poorly or anything, but not a whole lot of people have, you know, and I wouldn't call myself a strong male figure in their life because I'm starting to figure this out myself, you know, to be of good character, you know, and to be a good person and to try all the time. You know, I spent a lot of my time, you know, as an addict and just being an absolute piece of garbage for a long time. And it's taken me into my 30s to figure out that I can be just as good and I can be what those people are and I can be, you know, as awesome as the people I am as I watch, you know. Like, there's nothing stopping me, you know, there's nothing stopping them. And don't be different just because someone said something about you. Yeah, 100% be yourself. 100%. And if they don't like you, they're not meant for you, you know? But if you're a good person and you're authentic, that's a good thing. You know, this world is so divided right now. Like, I have some certain particular beliefs, and it's pushed me and my sister's relationship away. And it sucks that we can't be in a place where we can just talk to each other and have a disagreement and still be friends. You are the only person that can take care of yourself. That's a good point. That's what I was getting to. If you want change, you make it. You know, I was saying, like, I'm sick and tired of working the 9 to 5. Like, I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to enjoy the American dream. You know, and unfortunately, hard work isn't cutting it right now. You know, it's definitely good, but it's not of like 20 years ago where you could, be a blue collar man and work your tail off for 40 hours and then go take your kids to Cabo or something. You know, you have to do something above and beyond. Oh, absolutely, SH Games. You got to be able to talk. You know, I don't want to bring politics in here, but opposing sides have killed people for talking. That's dark. We're not going there. But when I was young, I was separated from my sister and brother, but I finally got to see my brother and see my sis on the weekends. That's freaking awesome. I'm so pumped for you to have that ability. Like, that makes my day to hear that. So thank you for that. Oh, now we got to go get binders. I'm also super stoked that you guys are all here, spending your wonderful Friday with me. It's super awesome. I quite enjoy it. I love hearing the perspectives and the lives of others, especially strangers. You know, I don't see you, but I see what you're saying to me, and it gives me a form of connection. For a lot of years, I was of the belief that humanity was dying. You know, the culture and, where maybe our parents and grandparents came from, where a stranger would give you his shirt to help you or something like that. You know, I don't see people helping people, like even on the side of the road. You know, it's more of a dying art, if you will. Flying back to Blackfoot tonight. From where? Oh yeah, happy Friday, everyone. SH Games, what do you do? What's your thing? I'm just gonna make noise, but I'm gonna come back. Gotta get this donkey strapped down. Oh, from Chicago. So do you live in Blackfoot? You're just visiting Chicago, or? Because I worked in Idaho Falls. Sorry. We'll just do this real quick. Do you? Do I what? Oh, do you? Yeah, I agree. But I lived in Idaho Falls, or I lived in Idaho Falls and I worked there, and then I moved to Blackfoot, and then I moved back to Cat Valley. Do you know what a theory? Tell me. I probably have heard it, but trying to avoid being ignorant. Tell me. I want to hear or read. It's a person who believes that they are an animal. I have a theory in myself. What kind of animal? I got to go for a bit, but I'll say hi when I leave. Yeah, Rain, come back. We're going to do a live tonight, working on the rigs. I might be more entertaining than watching me work. And I've heard that theory and thing. We're gonna drive to the other job site, so I'll be able to hear and see all that. Tell me I want to hear lovely sky blue. Yeah, please do. It'll be fine. Take care. SH Games. Finally got a notification to drop into your live before going to the dentist. Thank you, and be safe, y'all. Yeah, come back tonight. Everybody, I'm still going to be live for a minute here, at least till I get to the other job site. Because once I get there, I got to actually, do some labor. But lovely Sky, tell me your thought process on that. I don't want to be judgy or anything. Like sometimes I feel like a grizzly bear. Actually, I more relate to Bigfoot, and I'm not trying to poke fun or anything at all. Don't take that as any disrespect. I just don't know enough to speak on it. So I'd be more than willing to hear and listen. I'm a human. I want to learn. I want to get as much knowledge as I can. I feel like knowledge helps people. Knowledge helps, at least everybody grow in every different situation. And it's kind of a cool thing. There's a lot of people out there that are super divisive and super segmented in, their ideologies. And me, my personal, like I have my personal beliefs and stuff like that. But it's not like I'm going to push you away for yours. You know what I mean? I'm not going to create an environment where you're not going to feel welcome. You know what I mean? I might not disagree. I might not agree with everybody 100% of the time. That doesn't mean we can't still be friends. 5 of you here. I appreciate all the interaction. That's freaking awesome. That is awesome. That makes my whole day. I'm actually headed to Cache Recovery 2.0. I am a wolf and a cat and a bunny. It's fun, but hurts my hands. Plus, you have to be born as one. I see. So does that mean that you spend part of your time walking around like me, or 100% of the time walking around like them? And how does that? I'm just not familiar with the culture, or not the culture, the whatever you want to call it. I'm not familiar. I've heard the term, but as far as acting, the actual living life of that person, So to not be ignorant, I'm just gonna be here for to listen and learn. I'm sure it would be fun. The carefree life of like a apex wolf would be sick. We walk on all four and two quads. So is that like 100% of the time? Or like 75% of the time? Because it's like you got thumbs, you're typing. So there's got to be some human-like behavior at some point. I'm just curious how you guys break that down. Do you break it down in like, I don't know, as the environment fits? As the environment dictates? Like, do you do that in Walmart? Hey, there's still 4 of you here, and I'm pumped about it. I think my first live, I spiked to like 21 people, which is huge. Like, I don't know that many people. We think we're animals, but deep inside, we know we're human. I can feel that, but that's like part of the power of manifestation, if you will. It's like, and maybe I'm drawing a totally different, off the wall thing here, but like, if I want to be a super successful, wealthy, good human being, I'm going to manifest that. And if you want to have the qualities and attributes of, say, a wolf, I can see some benefit there. But also, I feel like something like that needs to be had in moderation. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to live your life. You do you, boo boo. But I don't know. That's interesting. Lovely. Are you school age? Just curious how that works at school, or did work at school or at your job. Same, not poking fun at all, being disrespectful, just trying to understand. Definitely. And I think that's part of it. A lot of people, like, I don't understand certain people that have certain lifestyles, but I'm curious about it, and I'd like to know. And I feel like I'm criminalized if I ask. So I appreciate you being open and willing to talk about it, you know. Because how are we supposed to understand each other if we can't talk about it? That's how it's got to go. It's like saying, I'm Matt, and I'm offended if you ask about Matt, and I don't tell you about Matt. I'm Matt, by the way. Yeah, some guy stole my name. I couldn't be Matt's Off-Road. It's already taken. Anyways, past that. But did anybody do any Jeeping or off-roading or anything? Well, if we don't want to talk about Jeeps, we don't want to talk about Jeeps. I'm out here trying to figure out how I can be the best, the most benefit in people's life while doing what I want to do. What job do you do? And quads are where we're learning to run and walk and jump. What job do I do? My job or Sparkle's job? Sparkle's the secretary. Me, I'm an equipment operator. I move dirt and rocks. But I'm approaching my other job site, and I might get on again around lunchtime, which is in about an hour, 2 hours from right now. In Utah time, it's 11:10, and I might get on again, and I hope to catch everybody again. And I super appreciate everyone coming. Maybe give something back or something like that. Yeah, I got school, so no job. Hey, when you're ready to work, put you to work. But I might hop off here in a little bit. Well, I'm going to hop off because I got to unload stuff. But I might hop on in like an hour or so, and then come around 5-ish, 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll hop back on while we're working on the rigs. And I'd love to see every one of you back there, because that's where, that's where the fun stuff comes. But if you would, please, look at my other videos, comment on them, tell me what you think. I'm sure some of them are garbage, but that's okay, because I don't know what I'm doing. We have all the rigs still, other than the 4Runner. You'll see that there. And if just talking to me is what you want to do, that's fine. You don't even have to care about the rigs. I like the forest and places where they have trees. Me and you, we get along on that one. Me, I want to be in the mountains 100% of the time. All the time. But I can't. You gotta do this. Stinking asphalt. You know. But I would love to be in the forest all the time. But back to that. I'm gonna get off soon. I've been on for 30 minutes. I'm super pumped that we've all been here. I might get on around lunchtime so I can talk to y'all again. Please check out my videos to date. Help the channel out the best you can. And if not, we'll just come talk to you guys again tonight. Plan on me around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Hopefully you're subscribed and you can get notifications for that. And just appreciate you all being here. It's a real treat, honest and truly. I love talking to people. Not in public all the time. I do enjoy this quite a bit. I'm super pumped. Hi Avery. Super pumped to have been able to talk with all of you guys. And sorry if it was loud, but please check out the stuff and tell me what you think. Leave comments, whatever you want. We can talk more in an hour or two at lunchtime, and then again tonight. I think this live thing's pretty neat. Wolf Lover. You're a cat. Why is your name Wolf Lover then? Shouldn't it be Cat Lover? Or I'm a wolf? Hi Addison. But here's my guy waiting for me. Good question. Yeah, I think Wolf Lover is a cat lover. Anyways, thanks guys. I'm gonna hop off. I'll see you guys a little later tonight.